Europe has seen nothing like it since World War II. Hundreds of thousands of refugees and migrants fleeing wars in Syria, Afghanistan, and elsewhere. It's a perilous journey by land and sea as they face overcrowded boats, tough border guards, and barbed wire. Ray Furlong, a correspondent for Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty, found one young Syrian couple and followed them on their desperate trek for a better life.
Their towns and cities have become war zones, their homes bombed, their lives destroyed. So they flee in the hundreds of thousands. But other countries are not always prepared or welcoming to the throngs of migrants on the long march. The idea is just to keep moving, step after step, day after day, for weeks, until you can't walk anymore. A journey without a map or a fixed itinerary, a daily marathon of hope into the heart of Europe. Newlyweds Said and Amira are hoping to reach Belgium, a safe haven and a new start, away from the war in Syria. They agree to let us follow them, but they ask that we not use their real names.
I have a very good life in Syria. I am sales manager in computer company.
How was your journey?
It's very difficult and very complicated. We have nerves, we have sometimes hungry, thirsty. Some country I passed, it's very bad.
They follow a trail of litter left by thousands of other marchers along rail lines heading north. Everything they own in a backpack and 2 plastic bags, all that's left over from a comfortable life in Damascus.
I have house, I have car, but they are all lost in the war.
We found Said and Amira just inside Macedonia. A few days earlier, police here used tear gas and stun grenades to stop the tide. But it had little effect. The people just kept coming, a relentless flood of humanity. Hundreds of thousands have travelled this road of uncertainty, driven by their hopes for a better life. Some have died in their desperation to flee, but still, it's a route many will take. It's called the Balkan route. From Damascus, Syria's capital, to Lebanon, then a flight to Turkey. From Turkey, by sea to Greece. Then to Macedonia and Serbia, headed for the Hungarian border. Then a final lap to a richer country, like Austria or Germany. The worst moments came as Said and Amira were crossing the Aegean Sea in a boat.
We are 30 people. Sometimes we have dead people, about 7 and one child. They are dead.
Dead people in the boat?
Yes, dead people in the boat.
Here things are a little more organised. In the shade of a tree, the men wait for documents.
This paper for cross the board.
So they've given you papers so you can continue your journey?
Yes. Now we continue to Serbia.
Like a military unit, they march off in the dust. The most important provision is water. The majority of the migrants are in their teens and 20s, strangers in a strange land. Finally, they reach a bus that will take them north to Serbia. But here, there's more confusion. Do you know where this bus is taking you?
No. We ask people.
It's a relief to sit for a few hours, but they are running out of money. The government provides the bus, but it's not charity. The fare is $22 per person.
Is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and a half. 700 and a half, okay?
On cell phones, the migrants try to find out what lies ahead. The news isn't good. You're worried about Hungary?
Scary. It's scary.
Have you heard about the fence they are building in Hungary? Like a wall?
Like a wall, yes, I heard that. My friend crossed in Hungary from 3 days ago. He tells me the wall, it's not complete, not finished.
So you're racing against time?
Yes, inshallah, in Arabic.
God willing.
Yes.
Governments were caught off guard. Now they're racing to control the crowds, building barricades, policing walls. The migrants' door to a better life is rapidly closing. The next step of the journey is a refugee centre in Preševo in South Serbia. Conditions are tough and people are getting sick.
They have problems with gastrointestinal tract because of traveling, and sometimes they also drink water from rivers. They also have a lot of wounds, insect bites because they sleep in woods, a lot of headache and sunburn because of the sun and hot weather. They collapse a lot.
Like most of the migrants, Saeed and Amira are city people. Life on the road is wearing them out. Are you tired?
Yes, we're tired, we're very tired. All people are tired. We need to wash our clothes. I don't brush my teeth for a week.
After Preševo, they reach the Serbian capital Belgrade, a city overwhelmed by migrants who sleep where they can. Most can't afford even a cheap hotel room. Here they buy local phone cards and exchange stories. Merit fled the war-torn Syrian city of Aleppo. He has a video of tense moments at sea.
A big boat coming to us, they hit us and we are getting down in the water. And we still in the water for 2 hours. We're waiting for the coast guards. After 2 hours, the Turkish coast guards come to us and take us.
The next day we reconnect with Saeed in northern Serbia. He has some bad news. He paid a trafficker $2,600 to drive Amira and him to Germany. The man ran away with the money. Still, Saeed holds on to his dream.
Maybe in Belgium and Germany, complete our life, make a business, make a work, make a family. We don't know. That's future.
To deal with the crush of migrants, Serbian authorities in the northern town of Kanjiža quickly built this camp. In the first 2 weeks, 20,000 people poured in, desperate for some relief.
It's a bit better than previously when they were staying in the park in the center of the city, where the situation was absolutely horrid and very, very difficult. People were sleeping on the streets, babies were kept in pizza boxes. We had to take them on foot to the doctors, and our doctors were coming only twice a week due to the lack of hygiene in the park.
After weeks of stressful travel, the migrants managed to overcome most obstacles. But then comes the biggest hurdle of all, miles of barbed wire. and Hungarian police determined to keep them out. It's a controversial barrier. Hungarians were the first to dismantle border fences in 1989, tearing a hole in the Iron Curtain and ending the division of Europe.
Kind of a shame for us that we are building fences between countries in 2015, and the fence, as you have probably seen, will never stop any migrants from coming or entering Hungary.
At this border camp, meanwhile, breakouts are not uncommon. But trying to outrace the guards is not an option for many of these migrants. They have young children to care for. Some have just enough strength to walk. Near one Hungarian border crossing, things get tense. Either let them through, the migrants say, or take them to a refugee camp.
It's like a revolution because there is no food, no water. We are under the sun. Some people sit here 2 days. It's not human.
Naseem is from Afghanistan.
We saw lots of people during the way they died. The people are dying here. We escaped from dying, from Daesh, from Taliban, but we will die here.
Stop! 2 weeks later, we learn that Saeed and Amira have made it to this camp in Austria. But they had a narrow escape. Amira tells us about a frightening moment that came after sneaking across the border into Hungary, where they found a trafficker to drive them north.
We got in the car, but the police came immediately and pulled us out. The trafficker ran away. We ran and hid ourselves in a toilet for about 2 hours. When we came out again, we paid another driver to take us.
What was going through your mind, how you felt at that moment hiding in that toilet?
Most of all, that police would take our fingerprints. I was very afraid that they would separate us and put us in prison.
The camp is a pleasant place. There's food and free clothing.
This is the same size.
Saeed and Amira share a tent with 6 strangers.
It's a new life, and we don't know anything about it. Some people think that this will be a time for relaxation, but on the contrary, this will be a time when we establish a new life. Everything is difficult in the beginning.
Difficult to be sure, but they survived their odyssey. Now they must carve out a new life as Europeans.
Saeed and Amira have since left the camp and are now living with an Austrian family. They've applied for asylum. They've also found out that Amira is pregnant. We'll be right back. That is our broadcast for tonight. A reminder, you can always connect with us on Facebook and Twitter or at globalnews.ca/16by9. I'm Carolyn Jarvis. From all of us here at 16 by 9, thanks for watching.